The right to freedom of speech here in Australia has been one of major debates, especially surrounding the fact where there is too much censorship regarding the issue, whether it be laws that permit journalists from reporting certain information about the government, or the Australia Day protest that happened this year in Melbourne. I'll take to the streets of Perth to find out their opinion.
I've always had the opinion that I could say whatever I liked as long as I don't defame anybody, but no, I don't believe it is.
I'm not sure whether it really is. I don't find anything seems to be suppressing my right to free speech. I know that we don't exactly have free speech in the sense that we can't just say anything or do anything within Australia. I mean, there are certain books which are banned in Australia because they're considered bad things to have around. And I don't know, I think in Australia, like, free speech is something different to free speech in the US, and maybe we get those two things confused as well. We don't have the same constitution. People seem to think that they can stand up and say whatever they want, no matter how harmful that might be, and then claim that they have a right to free speech. If somebody says you shouldn't be saying that, and I'm thinking about things like racial vilification or advocating violence and things like that. Free speech, if there is such a thing, shouldn't include the freedom to say that. As I read once, freedom of speech is not the freedom to shout fire in a crowded cinema when there's not a fire there, really.
Yes, I think it is. I don't know all the ins and outs of the laws, but I mean, you can get taken to court for saying things that the political parties don't want or the mainstream media don't like.
I'm a Christian Australian, so to talk out on matters of religion and race, I think, has been totally censored, and I feel our voice is being told to shut up.
I think that protecting people from being offended is important. I think that there are more consequences than just offence if people are allowed to say whatever they want.
Free speech should be maintained at all times. It's just a part of our living in Australia that we should be allowed to say what we speak, even though we are going to upset some groups. People should always be allowed to have their say.
Again, back to the whole racial vilification thing. I mean, somebody charging around saying bad things about other races, has a real impact on those people. It's more than just offence.
Perth clearly has mixed remarks on whether Australian freedom of speech is under threat, with some saying that there's no need to worry and that we live in a fairly democratic environment, whilst others say that it is moderated by regulation and that it can be a little bit political. I'm Melissa Blom for Undercurrent.